Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, the channel that lets you see inside of my box. So I haven't filmed a video in ages. I had filmed another video and I had teased you, if you saw, that I was gonna post it. I kind of gave up on that video because I wasn't loving it. So I'm here to make another one because I keep getting new subscribers. So some of you seem to like my stuff. And in this video, we're gonna take a look inside of my prop boxes. I went on a bit of a rampage the other day because I had messed up the roots on my Anthuriums. And while I was dealing with the root rot and switching out the medium that they were growing in, I also separated the plants from their chunks if they were attached to really big chunks. And also if I could just split them up and propagate them and make them into more than one plant. And put some of them into my prop box. A few of them are just inside of a mason jar. And they're not doing anything yet, so it's nothing really fun to look at. And so let's just take a look and see what I'm doing. And here is my little aeroid box where all the where most of the fun things are. Okay, so I imported Anthurium warocqueanum from Ecuador in the fall of, it was last year's fall, 2021. It was doing really well. It had grown a new leaf. And then I started playing around with the medium it was in, and I accidentally completely overwatered it and really screwed it up. But I also did separate it from the chunk. And now that little chunk is about to give me a new leaf, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm gonna show you, I will insert a photo of how good the queen did look until I messed it up, because oh my god, here it is all messed up. On the bright side though is that I'll kind of just I will wait until it pushes out a new leaf, and then I will just cut off the ugly leaves, even though it's kind of good not to cut off the old leaves and just let the plant draw in the nutrients and cycle through the nutrients. But sometimes you just want your plant to look good, so cut off those ugly leaves. You do you. Then I have two that actually have a story together. My Anthurium crystallinum, when I bought it, the guy gave me an Alocasia gorm, and I had just stuffed it into the moss with the crystallinum and not giving it any thought, and it didn't do anything. And it wasn't until I decided to take it out of the moss that I actually found the gorm, and I had completely forgotten about it, and it hadn't done anything in like a year or something. And I put it in perlite and put it in the prop box, and it has sprouted a new leaf. And I have no idea what Alocasia that is, and the leaf is probably still so juvenile that you probably can't really tell. But the weird thing is also though, it is not coming up through the gorm directly. It made like kind of an offshoot. So, but that's fun. And I split up the crystallinum, and here is the newest leaf on the baby crystallinum. little chunk that I made. Here's the, I hope Philly don't spill it everywhere. The first leaf. Oh, it is so cute. And the old leaves, I really screwed up. Really, all of my Anthuriums, I kind of can't believe that I'm getting them all back with new leaves, looking better than ever. And here's a new leaf. And I put all of my Anthuriums into perlite and been having a lot of fun with that. Some say it's maybe better than the moss because it's inorganic and don't have to harvest it, and if you harvest the moss, it's disturbing the environment, but I am not going to tell you what to do. I love sphagnum moss. I can't wait for this one to get big. I love Anthuriums. They are a lot easier than I thought they would be, but at the same time, I don't know, I think it's easy to make a mistake with them. And speaking of Anthuriums, here is my little Anthurium vittarifolium, I think, yeah. This one I got as a berry at a sale at North Shore Tropicals. It's starting to give me bigger leaf blades, and I look forward to it being draping down and being all big and nice. Don't know why, like, I tense so up when I start speaking to the camera. I need to learn to relax better. This one I am very excited about. Sorry if like I'm doing weird things with my head because I have the autofocus set on tracking, and it's just hell-bent on only tracking my head, even though it should track just the main subject. Okay, so these ones I got from Amy, who is Wolfgang's mama on YouTube. These are Anthurium forgetii and magnificum hybrids, and it's just been growing this crazy cute little cluster. And I have seen photos of this mixed hybridization on Instagram, and they look super cool. So I am very excited about this becoming a more mature plant, and there are at least 2 plants in here, so at some point I will split it up. Then I finally got one of my dream plants that was so popular once upon a time. Philodendron pink princess. I don't know why all of the leaves are curling so much in, but I bought it as an unrooted cutting, and I think it's a really good specimen because it has a lot of pink, a lot of variegation, and it rooted very quickly. I know in my previous Propbox video I had moss, but now I've been playing a lot with perlite, and I'm really loving it. It's good for things. And then I actually just have some Philodendron plowmanii babies here. I bought a seedling last year, or was it actually the summer before that? time has been strange. I think I bought the seedling actually in 2020, and it was just growing straight upwards and not giving me big leaves that I really wanted. So I split it up into three little pots, and I am hopefully, so I'm gonna, because I have now a lot of little plants and stuff that are just duplicates, and I don't have a lot of room, even though I wouldn't mind having a million duplicates of Anthuriums, because I really love Anthuriums. I am gonna have a perch in my local plant group. Hopefully people will still buy, and hopefully not all of these plants are in tissue culture and becoming super cheap. Well, I don't mind them being super cheap, but like I finally got a Philodendron mame, and all of a sudden and I got her actually for free because it was a rehab plant, and all of a sudden they're just everywhere for $3.99 because tissue culture, which is it's great, but it's also when you wanted to be able to sell some plants and make some little pocket cash, and all of a sudden they've lost all their value. Well, they've lost some of their monetary value, but of course they've not lost value in my heart or in their beauty. Oh, and here is the top cutting of the seedling. The latest leaf is starting to look a bit like a mature leaf. I hope I don't sound super robotic. I am really trying to be smooth here. Anyway, this is hands down like my favorite plant. And I mentioned the mame that I got as a rehab plant. I also got a big Philodendron plowmanii that was a rehab plant, and you wouldn't be able to tell from this that this plant did not look like this at all. And I actually separated this one from its chunk as well, and there were no roots at the piece that I cut off, and it was a little bit stressful to root it, and it took a while, and it's not easy to maintain. And it wasn't easy to maintain proper humidity levels to not completely just kill the plant while it didn't have roots and these big leaves. Thankfully, I had my fish tank that I turned into a glass cabinet, kinda. I'll show it to you. But finally, it made some roots and is now gonna be big and pretty again. And then I got a free Monstera dubia cutting that has just been weird because it's really long. It has a long lines, and I've been trying to curl it into the pot to get it to root more. I will probably end up trimming it and rooting these pieces and go from there, because otherwise it's just gonna look weird with tiny leaves. And here is the most exciting one, Alocasia matsurinia. My Frydek. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but Alocasia Frydek. It did. So I had it as a bigger plant, then often as Alocasias do, they go dormant over the winter time, and they don't necessarily always do that, but anyway, mine did. And then I also got root rot in it, and I was trying to save the chunk, and at first I was doing really well with it, and it was rerooting and everything was going well, but then I managed to screw it up and the chunk died. But thankfully there was a little gorm, and the gorm produced leaves with variegation in them. Ooh. Can you see on one side there's a little bit of variegation, and in the middle of the leaf, but as it has gotten bigger, the middle part is kind of hard to see the variegation, but it's there. So that is very exciting. That is my aroid box, and this channel is mostly about aroids, but I did want to show you what I have here in my other box. But that's some Hoyas, Hoya that like I'm mostly gonna sell. Maybe not, maybe I will keep a cutting for myself, but we shall see. Oh, before we take a look at that, I put some string of turtles in perlite in an old box. It's hard to tell how much roots they have, but when you lift them up, they pick up some perlite with them. So I think they're rooting. Here I have a little mox box. Here is my mossy box. I love Hoyas, and if I didn't love aroids so much, I would probably have a lot of Hoyas. I don't have enough space, time, or energy to give myself up to more than one family of plants. I do have like other plants that aren't aroids, but I want to just have aroids because those are my favorite. I want to give all of my focus, love, and attention to aroids. But some Hoyas, they're just close to your heart. But damn, they can be some SOBs with, like, they seem to be going so well, and then one day they're just like, nope, I have root rot everywhere and I'm gonna die. I thought this one was a complete goner at first. This is a Hoya ilagiorum that I got from a purge once upon a time, and I kind of just got it because I had never bought anything from a purge thread in my local group, and I kind of just jumped on it. It wasn't too expensive, and like, it's a cool looking Hoya, but I think it needs to find a nice home for someone that truly appreciates it. And then I have in here, so there are 3 strands of Hoya sp affinis, or Hoya species affinis burtoniae. I think burtoniae, that's how you say it. So it's not an actual Hoya burtoniae, but it's either very closely related to it, or it just looks a lot like it. So that's why it's called SP affinis, because it has affinity to burtoniae and hasn't gotten its own name. I had these cuttings, I rooted them, they were growing really nicely, and then just one day all of the leaves were just super limp, and it wasn't taking up any water from the soil or the medium that it was in. I took it out, thought it was root rotted. It didn't look like rotted roots at all. They were not squishy, it looked like regular roots, but it just wasn't drinking. So I cut everything off and just threw these 3 strands in here to let them root, and then I'm gonna chop them up and sell them as, like, I think I can get 9 little plants out of it. These look super cool actually when you sun bleach them, tan them overly. So that's gonna be fun. And the last prop project that I want to show you is I took my gloriosum and I split it up in 3 pieces, and at first the top piece was doing really well, but then I seemed to have screwed it up somehow. So I had to take off the roots again, and now I don't think I can lean it enough. Now it only has like 1 tiny root that is trying to do its best to bring this top cutting, the biggest piece, back to life, while the other cuttings are just doing super well and have given me new leaves, and hopefully someone wants to buy them at a fair price. Anyway, that's what's in my prop box. I hope you found it interesting. So please subscribe and share with your friends and like the video. Thank you so much.